Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to today's episode of The Fishing Teacher, and really appreciate you guys swinging by the channel to watch today's video. Always very thankful for that. And guys, today we're going to show you guys how to rig a horny toad, a Zoom horny toad. Not like a lot of people rig it. A lot of people rig it the wrong way. I'm going to show you guys the right way to rig it. It's going to really increase the amount of hookups that you get on your horny toad. So going to get into that in today's video. Also guys, I'll link all this stuff in the description of the video through my tackle warehouse link if you guys want to get you some horny toad components and any other fishing tackle. Using that link's a good way to support the channel. So I'll put that in the description of the video. Much appreciated. Okay guys, I want to show you Zoom horny toad. This thing is one of the most big fish catching baits that you're ever going to find. A horny toad, for whatever reason, catches lots of big fish under the right situation. And really what it's like, if you're not familiar with it, it's sort of like a subtle buzz bait. It's a topwater bait. You know, the tails, when you reel them across the surface, they got like this gurgling sound on them, but it's got this real soft gurgling sound, and the toad, you know, stays up on the top like that. Bait's pretty hard. It's a pretty hard plastic on it, but this thing has been catching fish for a lot of years. A lot of people use it as a trailer on a buzz bait. I'm not that big of a fan. I usually just use it as how I'm going to show you guys rig it up here. Now, first of all, I'm going to show you guys how most people rig this horny toad and why it's not a good way to do it. Most people just take an EWG hook. This is probably, I bet 98% of the people rig it like this. And it's got a little slit on the bottom that you put it in, and they come out the top and they rig it like that. Now guys, this is a good way to get strikes but not catch the fish, because what happens here, like I said, this bait is pretty hard, and when that fish grabs the toad and hits it, you still, even though this thing is like out like that, you still got a lot of, there's a big mass of hard plastic here. This is not like a soft piece of plastic. There's not much salt in it, so it's pretty hard. So what happens is the fish will grab it, and a lot of times the hook will get all balled up on the point of the hook here because there's just so much plastic. So I have lost so many fish like this. It's like I probably, when I fish a toad like this, if I get 20 bites on a toad, I'll probably get 5 or 6 of them in the boat. So let me show you a way that I figured out how to do this. Now this, I will say one thing, if you're fishing a toad over real thick cover, like if you're fishing it over the top of matted grass or through a thick lily pad field, you pretty much have to do this. You have to rig it like this because it's weedless. And I'll give you one little tip before I show you what the best way to do it is. If you do that, spend some time doing like this. Like get you a big hole, like a gap made there. And if you tear it a little bit like that and get you a gap, you know, that's going to give you a little bit better hookup, but it's still not going to be that great. So here's the way you want to rig a toad. Now, most of the time when I'm fishing a toad, I fish it around open water or around targets, like off the end of laydowns or boat docks, stuff like that, on the edge of the grass. Occasionally I'll throw a toad up in the middle of stuff, but normally if I'm throwing into thick stuff like pads or matted grass, I'm using some type of a frog, you know, like just a topwater walking frog. But here's the way I do it, guys. This is a 4/0 Gamakatsu G-Finesse heavy cover worm hook. Like I said, I'll link all this stuff in my description here. And take the toad, and what you want to do is you're going to come through the middle of it and thread it on. Come right through the middle of the toad and thread this thing on. Just go slow, so make sure you get everything in there. Try to come out pretty close to the bottom of it. And then there you have it like that. You got this hook that's riding down like this. Now the thing about a toad, when you rig it like this, is sometimes it rides like this, sometimes it rides like that. It just depends on the way the water catches the toad when it hits the water, which either one is going to be better. But most of the time it lands up like this where the hook's on the bottom. And when you throw this around targets, you got an exposed hook there, and your hookups are tremendously better. It's like, if I get, you know, 5 to 7 fish in the boat that bite a toad through the traditional Texas rig with the EWG, if I get 20 fish to bite a toad like that, I'm going to catch 18, 19 out of them. It's a huge difference. And another thing with this, guys, is if you've never fished a toad over in open water, try throwing this thing just down bare banks. Same type of places you'd fish a buzzer. On those days where you have calm conditions, a toad works best under calm water conditions because it is a subtle noise that it makes. It doesn't make a lot of noise. So if you try to throw it on a choppy day, you're not going to do that good because it's such a quiet bait. So try to throw it on those calm days. It's going to be a lot better. But anyway, most of the time, guys, I'm throwing it on my flipping stick with 20-pound test Seaguard and Vezex line. I like to throw it on fluorocarbon line. I think it's just a little bit more efficient. You can cast better with it. And with that exposed hook, you don't ever miss them with them. So give it a try. I think it'll help you guys out. We'll talk later.